Have you ever discovered your sugar daddy is your roommate's dad at Olive Garden? I was 23, broke as hell, juggling 2 part-time jobs that barely covered my rent. My student loans were eating me alive, and I was basically living off ramen noodles and whatever free samples I could grab at grocery stores. After my shift at the coffee shop one night, my coworker Jessica dared me to make a seeking arrangements account just for fun. She said girls our age were making bank from rich older guys who just wanted dinner companions. I figured what could it hurt to look around. The next morning, I had 3 messages waiting. 2 seemed sketchy, but 1 caught my attention. Martin W35 had written a polite message asking if I'd like to meet for dinner at Romano's Steakhouse downtown. No weird demands, no creepy photos, just a simple invitation. His profile said he was a business investor who traveled a lot and enjoyed good conversation. Against my better judgment, I said yes. Martin looked exactly like his photos. Silver hair, maybe mid-50s, expensive watch, calm voice. Nothing creepy about him at all. He asked about my college major, my career goals, normal stuff. When the bill came, he paid without hesitation and handed me $300 for the Uber home. He didn't even ask to come upstairs or try anything inappropriate. Over the next 2 months, we met 3 more times. He helped me pay for my car repair when my transmission died, then my phone bill when I was about to get cut off. The 3rd time, he gave me $1,200 to help cover rent after I mentioned my hours got cut at work. We always met at nice restaurants, talked about everything except what we were really doing, and kept things respectful. I never gave him my real address or last name, just texts between meetings. He seemed to like the privacy as much as I did. One Saturday, my roommate Carly asked if I wanted to celebrate her 22nd birthday at Olive Garden. We'd been living together for almost a year, got along fine, but weren't super close friends. She said her dad was flying in from Chicago for the first time in months to join us. Carly's mom wasn't in the picture, but she always talked about how her dad was some big shot investor who worked too much but was trying to be around more. I didn't think much about it. Free breadsticks sounded good, until I saw him walking toward our table. Martin, in a navy suit, smiling, looking right at me with the same face I'd been texting for 2 months. My stomach completely dropped. I felt like I was going to throw up right there in the booth. "Hi, honey," he said to Carly, giving her a hug. Then he looked directly at me. "And you must be Vanessa." I somehow managed to nod. "Nice to meet you, Mr. Call me Martin," he said, sitting down across from us. His voice was perfectly steady, but I could see something panicked behind his eyes. Carly beamed. "Dad, this is my roommate I've been telling you about. She's the one who helped me study for my economics final." Dinner was absolute torture. I barely touched my food, hands shaking under the table every time Martin spoke. He acted like we'd never met, asking me the same polite questions about school and work that any parent would ask their daughter's roommate. But I caught him staring at me twice when Carly wasn't looking. After we finished eating, Martin excused himself to use the bathroom. My phone buzzed 30 seconds later. "We need to talk, please." I had no idea. I ignored it and forced myself to smile through Carly gushing about how great it was that her dad finally had time to visit, how he'd been working on some big investment deal but promised to help her pay for grad school applications. When Martin dropped us off at our apartment, he hugged Carly goodbye and shook my hand like a normal person, but he held it just a second too long. That week was hell. Martin texted me 4 times saying he never would have approached me if he'd known we were connected, that he was falling for me and didn't know what to do, that this was the worst possible situation. I almost came clean to Carly twice, almost sat her down and explained everything, but then she'd hate me, probably move out, and I'd lose the one stable thing in my life. Then last Tuesday, I found Carly crying in our kitchen. Her dad had suddenly cut off her tuition money, said she needed to learn financial independence and figure out how to pay for spring semester herself. She was completely devastated, talking about having to drop out or take massive loans. That's when I snapped. I screenshotted every single message Martin had ever sent me, every payment notification, every photo from our dinner dates. I printed them all out, stuffed them in an envelope, and drove to his hotel. I slid it under his door with a note that said, "You don't get to ruin her life just to keep your secret safe. Fix this or everyone finds out what kind of man you really are."